Good morning, good almost afternoon morning. Ladies and gentlemen, family, young and old, male and female, female and male, and all those in between. Y'all, welcome in to another edition of us, now the 800 plus strong. We can boldly say on this podcast, y'all, right? Thank you, family. Thank you, family, for walking this journey with me, right? Man, we're going to get into one today, y'all. Again, your boy is finding some videos, man. It's been a minute since we've had a chance to play some videos here. We're talking live clips, live action. This is from a conversation a few months ago, but again, it bears mention. It's the first time that we will talk about it on this podcast. We have mentioned certain things about it already, but again, right? Repetition is necessary for learning. Oh, yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, y'all welcome in us, the 800 plus strong, who listen to, who view, who believe in, who hunger and thirst after that which is a different view. Family, welcome in, right? Today we're going to be doing some talk on the word control. Buckle in, fellas, buckle in, right? Ladies, pass this message along to men, women, kids. This thing needs to get out there. We're going to add in some Bible verse. Again, we've been in Matthew lately. We're going to continue down the road of Matthew. We got time, right? We got nothing but time. Until we draw life's last, can't say it. Until we draw life's last breath. There you go. What a tongue twister. Until that happens, ladies and gentlemen, we got nothing but time. Right? We just finished last time speaking on giving and the importance of giving. Giving in the community. Giving outside of your immediate community, let's say it that way, right? Into family, since we do reference family because we are a family of human beings. I understand. See, there's this idea out there, and to each their own. We don't knock people's point of view, man. We ain't gonna do that. Yet we will show a different view, right? So again, at the end of the day, here, you got two brothers fighting, you got two sisters fighting, you got the one here fighting the other. We can even take examples like Ishmael and Isaac, because that was an interesting thing, right? Since we still got this fight going on in the Middle East, we must speak the truth, ladies and gentlemen, right? If we want to set people free, because that's only what this is about. Massa got you thinking something different, but this is about living free. The balance of pain and suffering and out of balanced control is to live in freedom and peace. Exactly what the Bible tells you. Do it as possible. If it be at all possible. Ladies and gentlemen, you got to ask yourself the question, is it possible? And yes, it is. For us to live in peace. Even if that means you got to separate yourself to do so. Live in peace. This is part of the great, see, when they talk about the Great Commission, really in reality, as you break down the Bible and you look at certain things, you've got two different ones. Because the first one, not named the Great Commission, is a commission, is a command. Before there was 10 commandments, to dress and keep this planet, as we have said on this podcast. Again, this is just from studying your Bible, right? Since we got pastors and people who think that giving is giving don't make sense, right? And they telling you to read the Bible. Again, if you study and read your Bible, and we all don't know it all, but as you go along this journey, and this is any holy book, you got a lot of holy books out there that literally say the same thing. Walk in peace, y'all. This ain't about hurting nobody. Defending yourself is not about hurting nobody. You talk to our Asian brothers and sisters who practice the martial arts, right? You go down in Brazil and you begin to find out different martial art forms that black people do. Yeah, no, I know. Wait, KJ, what'd you just say? Yeah. When you go and you study these different art forms, oh, they must have learned it from the Asians. Okay. When we see again, you have learned a thing from what Massa has taught you about life down here on this earth, not from what is life down here on this earth. That's two totally different things, y'all. And we become confused and mixed up about what's going on in life because we have not been taught about what goes on in life. You've been taught from folks who want to take money from you, take things from you. As we're going to go to the polls here, just to stop on talking about this. Control that is out of balance. No one controls a person, y'all. We don't. We share in life's experiences down here. There's a difference. So the word well, you know what? Let's play the video first. And then this is a conversation. This is a cool sister, by the way, right? Cheyenne, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. Let's put some respect on the name, right? Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. The sister has done some work to get to where she is. I understand people have a problem listening to certain people, but again, I learned as a young man, even as a kid, right? You got to pull from you got to look at it all. Again, like we have said on this podcast, if they're studying you, you better study them. Don't discredit from that. If they study you enough to talk to you and test you and try you, right? Study them. Okay? Don't shy away from it. Listen to what they're saying. So let's listen to this interaction here between Dr. Bryant and Nick Cannon. See what we glean today, right? Let's go, fam.
See, I don't want to hear you've been with your wife for 13 years, but y'all been miserable for 12. To me, that's not a marriage. To me, that is an agreement for you guys to trauma bond on your inadequacy so you can say that you got someone who wants you because you got not feeling desirable issues.
Let's just pause this for 1 second. I want to run it back because she's talking fast, right? This is one of these videos that's kind of talking fast. Some of y'all may have seen it. Some of you may have not. I know it's going around lately the last couple of days, right? But again, this is something that when you look online at the original video on a TV show that Nick Cannon has. Shout out to the brother here. See, again, it's easy to clown on the 12 kids and the Mariah Carey thing and all this type of stuff, right? And family, we go and see, again, it's going to tie in certain things that are Christian-based or belief-based, right? But this is real life stuff. See, I am done doing the spookified thing. This is life and life more abundantly. Like, this is real, right? Okay. The grass you walking on is real. The dirt road you walk on is real or drive on, right? Life is real. It's not as spooky as what people make it to sound like, right? So let's just roll it. Let's run it back. Let's run it back. Let's run it back. What did this sister say? Hold on a second. Play it one time.
See, I don't want to hear you've been with your wife for 13 years, but y'all been miserable for 12. To me, that's not a marriage. To me, that is an agreement for you guys to trauma bond on your inadequacy so you can say that you got someone who wants you because you got not feeling desirable issues. That's a trauma bond. You're overcompensating with all these baby mamas for something that you're missing. What is it? If you had to choose something, what would you say you're overcompensating for? If you had to just make up something, choose something. What comes up for you?
I'm going to think deeply on this. I don't. As a black man, we're intimidated. Stop the cow. So therefore, in that sense, everywhere I maneuver, I want to make sure I control the room.
But what you're overcompensating for is exactly what you think you have. Can I go there?
Please.
Which is, you're overcompensating with the control of, even if it's an environment, not the woman. I don't care if you're controlling a damn plant, Nick, okay? Is you overcompensating for the lack of control you have within yourself. Because if you have the control within yourself, then fleeing would not be an issue. Emotional intelligence would be high, ego would be low, and the conversation will go different. So who you're really looking to conquer is you. Who you're really looking to control and govern is you. But once you gain that within yourself, I promise you, you'll see the need to control anything dissipate. That's what self-governing does. That's what self-control does. It dissipates the need to project that onto other people because anyone I suck in that plugs into me, they get me and they become me because we can teach what we know, but we create who we are.
Well, Well, family, I hope y'all and we're back, right? I hope y'all like that video. I know there is some head turning, there's some exorcist level, hair raising, head turning, green puking type of stuff going on. And I use that analogy on purpose because, again, we are giving too much credit to the spirit realm and not enough to what people are doing to each other in this realm. What you personally are doing, let's just pull it up here. Let's just oh man, what we are doing to each other in this realm. So we will re-reference a verse in your Bible because we are missing it, y'all. We gotta stop blaming another and blame ourselves. Let James 1 verse 13. See, again, I go to the King James Version on purpose. I understand that there are other versions that are necessary for study and all that kind of thing that you need to get, because again, the game of telephone has been played very horribly, y'all. Okay, let's be real. And we're going to get into another verse here that deals on control. Again, this is something that we could talk about next year, Valentine's Day, but we're going to bring out little bits here and there, okay, because it's necessary. We've been talking a lot about politics. I even mentioned it to not politics, excuse me, governmental issues. We've been talking about a lot about government. Of course, with giving was a little bit a different thing there. So we it's good to just change up the conversation here and there, right? So, I think before we get to 13, let me just read this, right? Let if any of you lack wisdom, right? We've said this before, but we got it, because again, this is the King James Version is that book everybody go back to. So we're gonna read the stuff here. See, because what it is, y'all, is people are on their bias, using the Bible to support one side of the bias of the other. But we're gonna give you the whole thing. So y'all have already heard the side here where you don't do nothing. Y'all just in the corner, you do these three things, that's it. We're going to show you where the thing is expansive, because the creator, the maker, is expansive. Somebody's lying on daddy. They lying on their brother, right? Speaking of Christ, which the Bible calls the first begotten of many, right? Your brother, okay? Again, we realize as far as God is concerned, if God is creating women, sister, goddess, you got it. Anyway, if any of you lack wisdom, ask of God that gives to all liberally and does not make fun of you for doing it, doesn't scold you for doing it, right? Ain't teasing you and laughing at you from the corner of their desk or the corner of a hallway or the corner, or, sitting from the porch of their house, looking and laughing at people. See, again, it's cool to do all that, y'all, but we got to realize the heart of a thing, man. We're hurting people out here doing that mess. We're not helping anybody. That's control out of balance, but we'll continue. We're going to show you why that's out of balance, right? Gives to all people liberally, bountifully, right? For the conservative out there that believes that the liberal is out of balance. Anyway, I digress. Again, you can go out of balance both ways. We're about to show you. Upbraideth not. Again, that's an old school English term, European term. You got to realize that a lot of the Bible here, especially when you're dealing with the King James, is written from an English European perspective. I digress. Again, the thing was given as a gift to a king, y'all, right? Good old King James. Upbraideth not. So you're not being made fun of when you need some wisdom, when you need some knowledge, you can ask and get it. No different than Thomas. I ain't believing that Christ rose from the dead. Oh, okay, we're going to show you. Nothing wrong with wanting to know. Show me the money. Ain't that what Jerry Maguire said, y'all? And it will be given to you. See, again, we just did this last time talking about giving. Yeah, you give, it shall be given to you. Pressed down, right? We made the joke of preachers preaching, but again, this is the real of it, right? Pressed down, shaken together, running over, shall men give unto you. So you give to people, they're gonna give back to you. Okay. Let them ask in belief, not wavering in your belief. What do you believe? Do you believe this for real? Should we treat each other correctly, y'all? Should we deal rightly in business affairs with each other, honestly? Or should we not? Which one is it? For those that waver, it's like the sea, a wave of the sea. Again, you live on the coastlines out here. Shout out to the people on the southeast side, right? Florida, Georgia, the Carolinas, Louisiana, borderline of Texas, right? Again, that's more south, but still south, the south and southeastern borders. These people who get battered by the waves, literally, and this storm season. We hope y'all recover your homes. I know the government acting like fools. That's normally what happens. We hope y'all band together, rebuild your homes, and continue on the path of life. In repair, if you need to, y'all go to therapy, man. I know. Hey, listen, you go through a traumatic storm. I was there back in New York, back in Superstorm Sandy. We know what it's like. The weather's changing. That thing getting drastic out there, right? Those on the coastline, their homes gone. Possessions and things gone. Family heirlooms, stuff just gone, y'all. We got to band together better as people, right? So, you're tossed like one of those waves of the sea, driven back and forth, tossed with the wind back and forth. For let not that person that thinks that way, that's just you're all over the place, back and forth, that you'll receive anything. Again, we're talking anything of the Lord. Now, it's anything. And again, we put the Lord, the devil. We do a lot of this. But anyway, the end of the day, the way the rule is set up, you got to really believe what you're saying. You can't half-ass it, because if you're doing it half-assed, it won't work. And the way Big Mama used to tell us, right, our grandmothers and grandfathers and our fathers and mothers, right? You got a lot of folks out here half-raised. We're just talking the truth today, y'all, as a family. Because this is what's going to help us, whether it's election time, non-election time, and everything in between. We as the people are what run this thing. It is the reason why things are the way they are. Now, don't make it Republican because I said we the people. I'm literally saying us, the people. Right? The thing is there for us. It would have to be. You have to have a governing body of rules or stuff, or again, you'll have nothing but chaos. A double-minded person, this is verse 8 now, is unstable in their ways. That is true. It's just doubling down on what was just said these verses before that. What do we believe, y'all? You done suck down my syrup so much that when we deal in these things of life, you're already unbalanced because of the foundation in which it is built upon that you're asking from is tainted. It's for them. It's not for you. People get mad at what's going on in life today and stuff like that. What you don't realize, ladies and gentlemen, is that's the way it's set up. It's not set up for you. It's set up for someone else. The only way you're going to get it for you is if we band together to ask of and demand of the government that is there with us. Now, again, you ain't got to be rude about it. You know how Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was marching to Washington when they shot him in that hotel to ask for stuff for people, for the poor that need it. Killing holy people. Never mind. Right? So, get down to verse 13. We're talking about how these things occur and us blaming the wrong thing. Let no person, when they are tempted, say, I am tempted of God. You are not. Now, listen, you see God, just flip it and put the devil there. You're not even tempted of the devil, y'all. So when you heard this phrase back in the 60s and 70s, the devil made me do it. The devil didn't. There are thoughts, both good and evil, that come to us. I'm just saying what it is, y'all. I understand we do this. Because see, it's easier to look off into the sky and under the ground instead of just looking at your person right in front of you, picking and choosing what they're doing. That's not possession. That's them choosing to shoot you with that gun, stab you with that knife, talk you down at work so they could take your position at the job. Come on, somebody. Not give you health benefits when you're dying of cancer and cause you literally to die of cancer when they could save your life. And we get caught up in the back and forth in between. That's people doing that. Groups of people. Causing people choosing to come to a land already inhabited with people and take it from them and make up a whole legal governing body to keep it that way so that we don't share it. But see, ye which are spiritual is what your Bible says is supposed to restore someone's, in the spirit of meekness. In the idea, in the list is what spirit of meekness means. In the idea, the life, the essence is what the word spirit means. Of meekness. Meekness being that which where you put yourself in a place where you see that other person. That's how you can restore them. Because you couldn't restore them if you don't see them and the pain they're going through. This is the heart of a thing we're missing, y'all. This is why control gets the way it is, right? We're gonna bring it back. Don't worry, y'all. Don't worry. We gotta set it up. I know we're 20 minutes in, we're gonna set it up, right? No, you're not tempted of God, for God cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempteth God any person. Again, same thing. Flip it around, man. This is this idea we keep thinking that is Spookville season. No, even though we're in October and we're real close to Halloween, this ain't the spooks. Okay? This is people doing this. Every person is tempted when they are drawn away of their own desires and enticed. Because again, the word lust is your strong desires. When you go out of balance, hence, let us get into control. Let's see. The definition of the word control: the power to influence or direct. This is from Oxford's dictionary. The power to influence or direct people's behavior or the course of events. That's when you use the word control as a noun. In a sentence, the whole operation is under the control of a production manager. Okay. Group. A group or individual used as a standard of comparison for checking the results of a survey or experiment. Okay. In a sentence, they saw no difference between the cancer patients and the controls. Okay. Some similar words: benchmark, standard, check, like check and balance. Do not assume. See again, all of government, before y'all go there, control. So control in government. We're going to read some things here that I wrote down, some notes here. Control is, we got to walk this and talk this for a minute, family. So y'all bear with me for a second. Okay. Control. We're going to try not to go as long as last time, but control. Okay. We're dealing with the heart of a matter now. Yeah, you need knowledge. Yeah, you need understanding. You need wisdom. Yes, you need information. But then there isn't how you apply it. There's the heart of a matter in which you do a thing. That's where we're judged, y'all. That's where we see the reward or the consequence in how you do a thing. Some people call it cap. Some people call it simping. Folks will make fun of you for it. There's a heart in which you do a thing. And again, a reward or consequence in which and how you do that thing. As a verb, when you use the word control, determine the behavior or supervise the running of. Another one they got here: take into account. In parentheses here, they got extraneous factor that might affect results, when performing an experiment. So take into account when performing an experiment, again, the factors, the external factors that could affect that result. That's what control is about, y'all, right? You look at the etymology of the word here. For time, we're going to shorten it a little bit. Back in the early 15th centuries, where you start seeing that word come up, shocking, right? Controlling, COUNTROLLEN, check the accuracy of, verify or regulate. You know, like the song from Warren G back in the day, right? Regulators, mount up. Yeah, that kind of thing, right? To regulate. And of course, in that song, they're talking about how you regulate on the streets. Not really that much different from how you regulate in your home. How we regulate on the job. We got to go there. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to go there. Because again, see, life is being lived, right? We live in battle, insanity. We do. We think we're doing the same. The results are there. Clearly, the results, what we're doing has got to be right. But the results, it's not there. So we done went to church all this time. We done shouted and sang and praised hallelujah. Hymned all the hymns you could hymn. Again, your Bible lets you in on the secret. One of the holy books. Again, as you're talking as a Christian, me as a Christian, the holy book. But again, I'm not that, how do I say this? I'm not going to be that shallow and reject other people, especially when you're talking about our Buddhist and Hinduist brothers and sisters, where the belief system shows it goes back further than even Christianity. And to my Christian brothers and sisters, I know y'all, we already know, right? You talking the Ancient of Days here, y'all. That thing goes back further than what you think. But I digress. It's from Anglo-French. Shocker. Here's this word. Contrôler, I guess, is how you say that. CONTREROLLER. Looks almost like the word controller. Shout out to our video game crew one time, right? Video game family, us gamers. What's going on? Of which I am one. What's going on? Right? That word contrôler means exert authority, and you definitely do when you playing. Let's see some of the games. Madden, especially right now. Madden, right? NBA 2K. For our hockey fans out there, right? You got NHL 24, 25, whichever one. To our football fans, we're not talking football as we say football, right? We talking around the world recognized football. Put some respect on it, right? What we call soccer. So you got FIFA out there, right? Ratchet and Clank or God of War, right? All the games. For the Xbox heads out there, you know you got your Halo, right? For our Nintendo fans out there, you got various Super Mario games, Super Mario Party and all that kind of thing, right? We're just saying what it is. For the PC gamer out there, I know this is a conversation here, right? This is a different conversation we could have on gaming, right? But I know that, you know, and especially to the older people that just played jacks and tiddlywinks and stuff like that, y'all don't, you know, we can't make that correlation. Again, watch out for Massa hating on the younger people just because your video game playing per se was different than what the young ones doing today. The same thing is the same. When mama call you in the house, it's time to come on in that house. The same thing should be today. We can't be playing video games all night long, ladies and gentlemen. We can't be doing that. We've got other things to do in life. It's a tool of rest and relaxation. But anyway, I digress. Exert authority. I know some older people probably, you know, woo-hoo-hooing in the back and all that kind of thing a little bit. But again, this is not to down our young folks. This isn't. You need escape from this mess. Come on, somebody. Anyway, from medieval Latin controlutus, so contra, CONTRAROTULUS, a counter or register. Basically gets down to the idea, y'all, to exercise control over, okay, like counting stuff. So a method, combination of all these words here from Latin. Again, they mentioned medieval Latin, so that's just, you know, when you look up medieval Latin, it's just how Europe was using using Latin in their language, right? The word apparently comes from, this is on etymology online dictionary, right? Comes from a medieval method by of checking accounts by a duplicate register. So now let's get into here what we're talking about. Is control bad or good, y'all? I'm going to tell you, just like chaos is, this is the opposite side of it, they both are good. You need a little shaking it up. Shake, rattle, and roll, as the term goes, right? But just as much as that, you need control. This is why I can firmly say the conservative liberal argument that people do is false, is a falsity. It's pseudo. It is. Because you need both. Not extremes of each one. We're talking a balance of both. And normally when you start coming around this topic, this is where people start going a little sideways because again, you've been mentally bred in your mind to want one or the other. This is on top of what you just want. Right? Because again, okay, what do you mean? Again, a person wants certain things, just like desire. This is why I say when you're talking about the word lust, it's a little out of balance. Right? Same thing with pride. A different word really needs to be used. So instead of pride, it should be more like vainglory, hubris, haughtiness. When you're talking about lust, just what you desire, your desires, your strong desires, the stuff you really, 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 really want. It's like that Spice Girl. If you really, 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 anyway, if you want to be, let me leave it alone. Let me leave it alone. Oh man, I can't. Tell me what you want with it. Anyway, so controlling relationships. How do you answer? Right, this is the thing, right? Because she's talking about, because you can be married for a long time, y'all. Don't get it twisted. See, and unfortunately, because we're not honest about marriage, right? About two people being together, we miss it, right? We miss it on a certain level, okay? Time spent together is not quality. It's just quantity. If there is no quality in the time spent together. This is the acid test, y'all, for what's going on. This is why when people had a problem when the Barbie movie came out, and like there was this thing, I guess, after Billie Eilish made the song and all that kind of, what I'm here for and all that kind of thing, which is a question people really need to be asking of themselves, right? We shouldn't be making fun of it. It's really a thing where you need to be thinking. See, again, they've got to make fun of you for thinking, right? As we approach here the end, I know I say this a lot here, but we're descending. We're coming out to altitude, descending down to the runway, right? To the landing strip, okay? To the helicopter pad. Anyway, time spent together is not that's not the measure. That's not the measure of the quality of the relationship. You can be on your job for 20 years and absolutely hate it, like the slave. But anyway, there's a video going online with Lawrence Fishburne rereading a letter from a slave to his former master. Very powerful. All right. Well, not his master, his slave owner. It's better said that way. Anyway, the things are out of balance, y'all. If you're fighting in a constant turmoil, which is what she's talking about here. That's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. And we learn this mess from our parents who were deceived. See, again, relationships and marriage is very necessary, but do not be unequally yoked together with those who don't believe like you, y'all. This is just the reality of it. This is not hating on nobody. We can't control this thing. That when you start doing that, that's out of balance. Certain things have to happen. But that don't mean you just let it go all out of control, right? This whole thing about her talking about black men are intimidating. So people in general can be intimidating. I have met women and men, both, that are intimidating. I have met young and old that could be quote unquote intimidating. Right. So this idea, I don't think it was her was saying. I think Nick Cannon was saying it. Like, people are intimidating. Again, I think when you have to put on an air like that, you have some very serious, which we all do. You have some very serious inadequacies. That the intimidation part, which is just some gang Gestapo mess that we learn from Europe, or that was already in the clan and in the tribe, and then you pick that up over time from your auntie, uncle, so on and so forth. Father, mother, grandmother, where you got to throw your weight around. I don't have to throw my weight around for you to know I'm in the room. Y'all know somebody knows I'm in the room. Just again, this is somebody knows y'all are in the room, family. You don't have to do all that strong arming mess. That's kiddish mess. Authority shows up in a person naturally because it comes from you. Anyway, so how do you answer when the thing goes out of balance, right? Here's the note I left. Control in relationships. What's the answer? The balance is teamwork. Control in business. The balance is teamwork. Let's see, when we say relationships, each one of these I'm going to mention is a relationship. So business is a relationship, right? The next one here, control in government. How do you answer what's going on in government, ladies and gentlemen? The balance is teamwork. See, more needs to be said, less of Democratic, Republican, and more needs to be bipartisan. Because when you look throughout history, many of the things that have shaped this government have been bipartisan. Since everybody got a problem with folks being bi today, but I digress. Well, y'all just being greedy. No, okay. Control, never mind, man. Control in business. If the boss would start looking at the employee, see, again, the person is responding to you. And I must put this, see, again, you can't say you're the head of the household, but you look at your woman as you look at the woman as the enemy. You look at the girlfriend, your girlfriend or wife, as your partner, right? For our homosexual, both lesbian as people and as people use the term gay. Again, here on this podcast, that's a little happiest. Never mind. We'll just say it for the purposes of speaking right now. For gay and lesbian couples, the same things relate between homosexual and heterosexual relationships. I know this is hard for people to get, but this is the real. If you're going to look at the other one as the enemy, it will fall every time. Again, the way it is said biblically, a house that's divided cannot stand. So teamwork has got to be at the utmost top of the list, prioritized on every occasion, every time in a romantic relationship. The same thing has to happen in business. We both there to make money, y'all. You can't undercut the employee boss and think you are going to profit. It won't work. You'll get it for a little bit, clearly as we see. But as most things happen, economies fail. Why? Not just because of the natural progression of that which is entropy or death, big old word for just death, but because you put that thing in the microwave and hit it on, or in the blender and you hit it on frappe, man. You can't let that thing just mix naturally. You gotta, again, you can't. You've got to pay the worker better if you want a stronger economy. Never mind. So that's business. That's controlling business, controlling government, controlling your neighborhood. You want to see less gang stuff. It's time for team. See, the gang member done already got it together, but the neighbor hasn't, because we still doing the divisional dance. But behind which I don't like Mr. Sanchez down there. That fifth house down there. He always playing bachata all day long. Man, I can't stand that music. This is why we talked about in this podcast, y'all. We gotta let that go. We all don't listen all to the same music, and it ain't owned by nobody. It is an energy that flows between us, that comes out the mouth through melody and comes out the body through rhythm and dance. I'm sorry. Nobody regulates that, right? See, this is where control goes out of balance. man, I just don't like these people. They sitting there, they got this barbecue going on all the damn time, man. I'm just trying to sit here and read my book on cows, man. Why does people get just shut the hell up? I'm trying to. You got windows, y'all. Now, again, there's a level of respect here. Okay? So we all can't go blasting our music till the umpteenth hour of the morning, talking about we having fun out in our house. That's not a thing. Again, where we get this whole backyard Becky and all barbecue Becky and all this mess from, again, you smelling somebody smoking that cannabis, that's not the time for you to sit there. I'm going to call the cops on these. Leave people alone. Is it hurting you? Are your lungs dying from cancer? Most of the people that are sitting there doing that are smoking cigarettes, that literally the stuff in there is lying to kill them. But we digress, right? Let people live in peace. Let that control mess go. Again, as a man, listen, men and women, we done both had very hellish things happen to us in life that we feel we must control everything so that nothing hurts us again. But in doing that, you set up your own grave. If somebody could get it on the inside of them today, man, you will control that thing to the nth degree that you choke the life out of somebody else while you think you're trying to protect yourself. You got to let it go. You got to let it go. It won't help you. It will only hurt you. All right? Sometimes separation is necessary to balance where control is excessive. We got to come away sometimes, y'all. I do apologize because I went a little long today. I thought it would be a little less, but there's just some things to be said. You know, when you're looking at, I'm not going to read it, but when you're looking at Matthew chapter 19, which we said we're going to continue and talk in this manner on relationships here, because these are the next levels, y'all. These are the next levels, right? We're not negating people's hurts and pains. None of that's what's going on, but we're talking about where we go too far. And when you talk about control, which is a necessary element in life, you can go too far with this. Okay? And that's what you're seeing today. Right? And this is where therapy is necessary. This is where all these things are necessary because, again, we're trying to control an environment from things we did not resolve in our lives that we are now hyper extending. And if you ever hyper extended any part of your body, you know that thing don't feel good. And guess what? Life is not feeling good. And we're not talking about chasing feeling good feelings. That's not what we're talking about. But again, life is not feeling good because we're hurting. And we're doing it to ourselves, y'all. In Matthew, it talks about, in Matthew 19, it talks about the hardness of people's hearts. The Pharisees try to trap Jesus, literally says it. Because this is what the Bible had already made the play. When you see holy folks, more times than not, these people are trying to play some mess. I'm just saying what it is. I did not say every holy person is doing this. See, again, this is where people go in their mind. Drop the rocks. But when you see these people set up, you know the difference between the real and what's not. And normally what's not, you got a lot of people trying to trap folks in what they're saying. Ain't no need for all that. Listen to the truth of a thing. You cannot control everything. We can't do it, y'all. Some stuff gonna go sideways, but what you can do is be prepared. What you can do, no different than a coach in a football room before Saturday. So since the football season, we'll use some things that people understand. You know, the coach before they talk to the team on Saturday, your college team, or before they talk to the NFL team on Sunday, right? Or for your high school coaches on Friday, right? For those who, if you know, you know, right? It's time that we understand the thing, ladies and gentlemen. This is not going to work the way you think it is. Continuing down the road of trying to manipulate. Because, see, again, you can't make fun of the witch. Again, since we're Halloween season. Don't make fun of witches and witchcraft. And you operate in the same thing without the superficial stereotype we use of the boiling pot with the green ooze and all that kind of stuff. You're doing the same. We do the same old thing, ladies and gentlemen, when you control too much. Again, this is not against being prepared. This is where you go out of balance, right? So that's what we got for y'all today, ladies and gentlemen. Man, that was an impactful video, so we just wanted to share it with the family. We hope y'all take the time to see the whole thing in its totality. I believe it is on YouTube, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's on YouTube. Dr. Brian on Nick Cannon's Council Culture. That's what you can look up online. Again, it was about 6 months ago. A lot of views, right? So just something to take in as we go along life's journey together. And until next time, as always, look to find the beauty in a different view.